Once upon a time, in a land not so different from our own, there lived a man of great wealth, power, and privilege. He had everything one could ever want. His barns overflowed, his fields produced more grain than he could count. But like many who achieve great success, he desired more. This man had a problem that most of us would hardly call a problem at all. He had so much wealth that he didn't know what to do with it. He stood in his grand home, gazing out at his vast fields of crops and goods, and he thought to himself, "What shall I do? I have no place to store my crops." In that moment, an idea came to him. "I know what I'll do," he said to himself. "I'll tear down my barns and build bigger ones, and there I will store all my grain and my goods. Then I'll sit back, relax, and enjoy life for years to come. I'll eat, drink, and be merry." Let's pause for a moment. Imagine that. You're so rich, so successful, that your biggest concern is not about having enough, but about having too much. It sounds like the dream, doesn't it? More wealth, more success, more comfort. But this story isn't just about wealth. It's about the mindset behind that wealth. The rich fool represents a part of us all, the part that believes that success in life is about accumulation. But is it? This parable isn't just about wealth. It's about what happens when we put our trust in things that are temporary, things that can disappear in an instant. The man believed he had the perfect solution to his problem. He would tear down his old barns, build bigger ones, and store his abundance. To him, this was the ultimate goal: to sit back, to relax, to enjoy all that he had worked for. He had his plan, and he was certain it would guarantee his future. But little did he know, something far more important was coming that he hadn't planned for at all. As he slept, a voice called out. It came from the shadows, from somewhere deep within his mind. It said, "Fool." Startled, he awoke, but there was no one there. Still, the voice grew louder, echoing in his ears. "Fool! This very night your life will be demanded from you. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself?" In an instant, everything changed. The rich man, so sure of his wealth and success, so confident in his plans for the future, now faced the one thing that none of his money could protect him from: death. His barns, his grain, his wealth, none of it could save him. This is where the story takes its most important turn. The rich man, in all his planning, in all his wealth, had forgotten the one thing we all must remember. Life is fragile. We can plan, we can accumulate, we can build our barns and store our grain. But in the end, none of it is in our control. The rich fool believed he was in control. He believed that his wealth could secure his future. But life and death doesn't work that way. The parable is clear. No amount of wealth can save us from the unpredictability of life. And that's the crux of this story. The problem wasn't his wealth. The problem was that he thought his wealth could protect him from the very thing no one can avoid. Jesus concluded this parable with a profound message. This is how it will be with whoever stores up things for themselves, but is not rich toward God. To be rich toward God? What does that mean? In a world where we're constantly told to chase after more money, more success, more security, Jesus offers a different perspective. He says that life isn't about accumulating things. It's about being rich in love, in kindness, in generosity. It's about the things that can't be stored in barns or counted in gold. So, what does it mean to be rich in the eyes of God? It means living a life that isn't centered around me, but around we. It's about giving more than we take. It's about being a source of light and hope to others. It's about focusing on relationships, on kindness, on making a difference that goes beyond our lifetime. Being rich toward God means living with the understanding that our time on earth is limited, but the impact we leave behind can last for generations. It's about investing in things that truly matter: our faith, our families, our friends, and our purpose. The rich fool's greatest mistake wasn't that he was wealthy. His mistake was that he believed his wealth could define him and secure his future. He believed his possessions could give him control over his life. But in the end, none of that mattered. What mattered was his heart, and in that, he was poor. So, what will your legacy be? Will it be one of material wealth or one of love, compassion, and kindness? Will you be remembered for the things you owned or for the lives you touched? At the end of the day, the parable of the rich fool isn't just a story about a man who hoarded wealth. It's a reminder to us all that life is fragile and fleeting. It's a call to consider what really matters. Is it the abundance of our possessions, or is it the richness of our relationships, our generosity, and our love?